What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another upload. I hope this finds you well, and thank you for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to finally be addressing one of the biggest issues that I have on this channel with my 2024 Road Glide since day one. That is you guys. You guys will not stay out of my comments section with the taillights look ugly, the back end of this bike looks ugly, I hate the new 2024s, they look like bug eyes, so on and so forth. I hear you and I agree. So I am finally addressing that issue. We're yanking the stock ones out. We've got some awesome custom dynamics taillights to throw in. We're going to take a look at ease of install, quality of the finished product, get some really nice close-ups for you guys. And then if you have any questions beyond that, hop in the comment section and I'll help you guys out. So let's jump right on in. All right, you guys, so here we have the Custom Dynamics Pro Beam LED filler lights. These things look really freaking cool. You know, if you look up close, you can really see the LED bars or hoops that light up. That's a really, really cool 3D effect. The gloss black trim around the taillight matches the Harley black really well. This clips right on in, so it's pretty simple. The only wiring that you have to do is adding in these resistors, which is really no big deal at all. And we're going to go ahead and pull these all the way out of their packaging, and we're going to get into some specific things that I'm choosing to do and why, and we'll get into installing all this stuff. All right, so taking a look at these, wow, they are gorgeous. Look at the detail, the intricacy, the quality. Those things are absolutely beautiful. Now, as you see here on the back side of these, they are labeled right and left, and you do have some clips that clip in and double-sided tape. We're going to get into something specific that I'm choosing not to do with this install due to the fact that I don't trust just double-sided tape, but you'll hear more about that in a bit. Here we have the resistors that come with it. They are labeled 2024, so I'm guessing they are going to be specific for 2024, so make sure that you order for the right generation bike. Here we've got some instructions and zip ties. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the stock taillights, what they look like lit up and on the bike. Then we're going to get into removing the saddlebags and keep it on rolling. And we're going to go ahead and take this one last look at the stock bug eye ugly taillights. They're honestly not that bad. I'm glad they did do a whole kind of a change up on the rear end of this bike, but fortunately we have room for improvement, and Custom Dynamics offers a pretty cool option. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the trials and tribulations of it. All right, you guys, so first thing we have is a little clip back here, easy enough to pull out. And then we have 3 7/16 right along there. Go ahead and pop those out. And just like that, one of your stock taillights is off. Now, something to keep in mind, as you can see here, with removing this, all of this dirt on the fender, that is going to be something you're going to have to deal with because your taillight will now be mounted here. You will see all of that. You will see all of these holes. I already have a solution for this, but that is something that you guys are going to have to consider how you're going to handle that. All right, one taillight is out, one to go. It already looks better to me. All right, second taillight is out. Okay, so now that we have the stock taillights removed, we need to go ahead and remove this and this 1/2" nut, and then there is a 7/16 nut on the inside of the fender, which this whole bracket holds the fender together. So once you remove that, then we can go ahead and pull these little bolt bracket assemblies that live on each side behind the fender. We'll get those out of the way and we'll keep moving. This 1/2" nut is on a T40 bolt, so you're gonna have to back the other side with a T40. All right, so now that we have the 7/16 nut out from back here, should just be able to slip it down and off. So we can go ahead and pull these bolt brackets out. Okay, the first one is out. As you can see, it is just double-sided taped on, and that's what it looks like. So we got the other side to do. As you can see, these holes will be exposed with your new light setup. There are a few different ways you can address that. We're gonna get into all of those as well. Okay, side number 2, I've already got all pried out. Should just there we go. All right, we can work on cleaning up this paint a little bit, cleaning up the black area here, and figuring out installing the taillights. Okay, quick little bit of mineral spirits to clean up the adhering surface of the taillights. Okay, as I've said, I want to give this stuff the best chance of adhering and not running into issues. I don't trust heating up the double-sided tape on the taillight without melting it, so we are going to go ahead and just heat up the metal here a little bit. Nothing too crazy. All right, the backing on the double-sided tape is off. Go ahead and slip the wire through and make sure that you've got the right make sure that you've got it where you want it, because it can clip up or down. Just go right there. Okay, you guys, we're gonna get into wiring this stuff up. Now, whenever I've seen people do these installs, they always go ahead and connect the resistor and this harness and everything right here, and they bundle all of the wire up, and then all these connections are exposed to water and whatnot, and I've never understood that. Custom Dynamics gives us this lead, which is more than enough to run all of this to under the seat. As you can see here, just like factory, they didn't have a bunch of plugs and stuff exposed to water and whatnot out here. So I think we're gonna do the right thing here. We're gonna snip these zip ties, we're gonna run the factory harness up and out, and go from there. All right, so we've got the 3 zip ties here popped, and the harness just runs right in between this piece here, up and out, simple. All right, you guys, so we've got the stock Harley Davidson wiring run up here for the taillight, and here is our Custom Dynamics one, and I picked up some shrink wrap. I'm gonna go ahead and run that around this wire. That way it has some secondary protection, as it is zip tied to here, here, and here, and it'll run up and it'll be mounted in there. So I'll get that all shrunk up and then show you guys what it looks like. All right, you guys, now that is how you cleanly install a set of these tail lights in terms of wiring. So we've got everything shrunk wrapped. We got it going along the factory zip ties. No electrical connections that are exposed to the elements in our fender, where tons of rain's gonna be getting thrown around like I've seen everybody else do. We've actually run the harness up and through here, and then it's connected up. We've got the resistor zip tied to the factory harness here. Super clean, out of the way, good to go there. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and yeah, we'll see how everything looks. Alright, you guys, we have the wiring really cleanly run with the factory zip ties, locations all shrink wrapped up, coming up through here in the factory manner, and then coming in here and just getting zip tied to the stock harness. That is the right side or the left side of the bike, The right side of the bike here is mounted right here. Everything's shrink wrapped, everything looks good. Now these connections for the resistor, they're not waterproof, guys. They're just a regular connector. So keep in mind, for all of those of you who have installed them just mounted under here, you're asking for a random day of no tail lights, and that's rather dangerous. So in my opinion, this is the proper way to do it. So let's go ahead and get the seat back on, saddlebags back on, and we'll go ahead and light them up for you. All right, you guys, as you can see, we've got the taillights all wrapped up here. Even with them turned off, they look so freaking awesome. The way the black now flows all the way down really separates everything out and gives the bike a mean stance. We've gotten rid of the red, kind of lenses of them, so now we've got a more aftermarket look, but we're still kind of in that OEM plus realm, which I really love. I'm gonna go ahead and fire the bike up, show you guys what they look like, blinkers, brakes, etc. And then I'm gonna bring you guys in close, give you some really nice close-up shots, and then we're gonna discuss some of the things that I would like to do in the near future to kind of bring this whole install together and complete. Because as much as I love the way that it looks right now, there is room for improvement. So let's see here. We've got our tail lights. Really, really cool, super, super bright. The pattern is awesome. When I saw these online and I purchased them for myself, I actually didn't know that they had such a cool 3D kind of a presence to them. So they honestly, the videos I've looked do not do them justice. They are so much cooler in person. So here's our blinkers. Nice. It's a blinker. Same thing. Very nice. And it does reflect off the bag pretty well, which is good since they are set in more than the stock taillights, but they are also way brighter than the stock ones. And then you hit that brake light, super, super bright. So that's what you get with that. Really cool. I'm gonna bring you guys in now and get you some close-ups, and we'll go from there. All right, as you guys can see, these things are freaking awesome. I wish the camera could kind of do it a better justice. All of these individual little hoops, they stick out about 1 inch within the housing themselves, and it adds a really cool 3D kind of a depth to them. It almost reminds me of like an old arcade game style of just bright, cool, fun, I don't know. It just looks awesome. I really recommend, if you guys can get your hands on these, doing it, if you kind of are okay with some of the things that I'm gonna mention next. Getting into that, you're gonna end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes on each side of your fender. Okay, you're gonna end up with dirt scratched into your fender on both sides. That is unavoidable. This bike only has 3,500 miles, and that is the case. Dirt's already rubbed all into that. Now, I have a solution for that. We will get into that in the near future, but that is okay with me because that is temporary. But if you're not wanting to spend a bunch of money and time and effort on kind of reversing this issue, you're gonna have to be able to live with all of those holes or get plugs to fill them. Keep in mind, that is your rear fender. So you're gonna be spraying more water and dirt and stuff out. So you're kind of gonna wanna either get some rubber plugs to put in there, so on and so forth. So that's just something that you're gonna wanna think about. What else? Custom Dynamics and Rick Rack do make a what they call a filler piece that goes down and around, but it kind of has this swooping effect, kind of almost making it look like the bike has a stretched bag or a big wheel bagger type of vibe, kind of gaudy. It's not for me, unfortunately. Hopefully I don't offend anybody saying that, but personally I like kind of the more performance bagger, aggressive, rough around the edges look while still maintaining clean, which is why we're gonna end up doing something to get rid of these holes in the fender, but we're also gonna leave this stuff exposed, but a lot of buts here. Nice. I'm gonna have this stuff powder coated. So these bolts are gonna get powder coated, and this bracket is gonna get powder coated. Therefore, all of that will be black. It will all kind of blend in with the bike, but it'll still be kind of a more aggressive, like a track bike type of look. So that's kind of where I am headed next with this. And yeah, go ahead and hit you guys with an outro. And beyond that, I think I've kind of covered everything. All right, you guys, I think that about wraps this video up. We've gone over pulling off the stock taillights, installing these aftermarket Custom Dynamics taillights, different options for how you want to go about resolving the holes, whether it's plugs, so on and so forth. Different options for covering the bolts and hardware and whatnot. You could get those filler plates, or you can go ahead and just get everything powder coated. Personally, I don't like the filler plates also because they're double-sided tape. So you're double-sided taping those to the bike, and then you're double-sided taping the tail light to that. It's kind of just like, not for me personally. But beyond that, they look absolutely awesome. They come with a lifetime warranty from Custom Dynamics. Keep in mind, I was not sent these by them. They did not pay me. I don't know them at all. I purchased these with my own money because I think they look cool, and I'm hoping that they hold up to the test of time. But they are a lifetime warranty, so that's a plus. Beyond that, pretty simple install, pretty quick, pretty straightforward. Keep in mind, you can run the wiring. I looked again at their instructions, and their instructions actually do say to mount the resistor and everything in a bundle in between your bags, but I'm not going to do that. I ran everything in, plugged it in under the seat. I showed you guys the plugs. They're not waterproof plugs, so to me it makes sense to keep them out of the wet, or at least try to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope that I was able to help in some way. Please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, because obviously in the near future we're going to be doing some more things to kind of wrap this install up, as well as ongoing different things. So it should be really fun. And we're going to be switching gears from just the Harley to some more stuff with like my Denali Duramax, my BMW. We could talk about the fact that my Triumph isn't here anymore. There's a lot to talk about. So we'll get into all of that. And yeah, so come along for the ride, and I appreciate you guys. See you in my next off week.